the co-main event, Hooker versus Chandler.
No, just real quick, it's like you were just saying they're gonna no Eddie Alvarez. They're gonna blur out Connor's like highlight reel. But no,
one time they'll show it because that was in the UFC.
Yeah. So before I break down this fight, I have to get this out of the way. I have to clear up that there could be some bias in here. I like Michael Chandler. I have for a really long time. I used to live in Atlanta, and I actually worked with a family member of his. It was a cousin of his. And it's not just that. I've been a fan of his fight style too, but there's like a personal connection here. With that being said, I do think he is going to win the fight outside of all of that, just stylistically and everything else that I see. I think Chandler's going to take this. I forgot to say, Chandler, 7,700 on DraftKings. That's another thing I like. Dan Hooker, 8,500 on DraftKings. Go up to Dan Hooker real quick. He lost his last fight. He did take a ton of damage in that, but outside of that, he's very durable type of fighter, much longer reach, great fighter. He's great on the ground, has good jiu-jitsu. He can stay out of trouble. Going up against Chandler, and how can I say this? Like, Chandler is everything you want in a fighter. Super aggressive. He can switch it up. Great wrestler. Very good striking. Great power. He can be defeated by a commission member in a stool, which is impressive. Never seen it done before.
It was on the floor because they pulled the stool away.
He corrected me on Twitter one time. I said that, and he said, no, it was the commission member. But anyway, it's besides the point. No, just my pick is Chandler in this fight. I do understand all the problems that people have. Like, oh, he's been fighting guys that aren't. Look, let's be real. A lot of the guys in Bellator are not UFC level. But to the same extent, Dan Hooker, I can go through his record real quick, but like he hasn't beaten the cream of the crop either, you know? So I'm rambling. This is your bet. What do you think?
Well, anyone who's been in MMA for a while will understand this terminology. They are both blood and guts fighters. They are a guy that will like go into the fray, take damage, and push forward. And you would like to say, hey, Randy Horton, sorry, the big Randy guy, he's hopped in the chat. Thanks for that. Sorry. Mini celebrity in our house right there. And 443 watching live. We love every one of you. Redirecting. He has taken so much damage over his recent career. This is not Alexander Volkanovski. This is not Israel Adesanya. Just because he's at the same camp, it's a good camp. Just because he's at the same camp does not mean he is those guys. Anyone that can establish wrestling on him and makes him think about the wrestling, he dials back his output, takes him longer to get range, pretty much sticks to punches, doesn't throw as many kicks. Kicks are a big part of his game. You saw that a little bit in the Poirier fight. He was landing hard kicks. This is a 3-round fight, which I think helps Chandler out a little bit. Dude, like I said, he will come straight forward, just throw volume, he's got a good chin on him, and he will, for at least for 3 rounds, can go constant 100% speed right at you. I mean, Hooker can do that too, but the longer fight favors Hooker, in my opinion, especially the first fight in the UFC, the lights, all that jazz. I know people coming over from Bellator don't have a good track record in their first fight. That's true. But I'm sorry, there's enough split decisions that Dan Hooker has gotten that if he didn't get, his record would look way worse than it is. And like, I'm sorry, like I bet him against Paul Felder, and that fight was way too close for comfort. Like,
right.
If you are this level of lightweight, you should utterly destroy Paul Felder. Paul Felder, I might retire. Paul Felder, I'm not necessarily into it. It's like, you should finish guys like James Vick. You should. He took so much damage from Edson Barboza. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's between that and Dustin Poirier fight. Like, this guy's he's only 30 and he's taken so much damage. Just not to mention like the sheer amount of quarantining that coming from from New Zealand that they have to do going into this fight and post. This is not a championship fight. This is a fight that may or may not get Hooker a title shot. This is Chandler's biggest fight of his entire career. This is his Super Bowl. This is everything he's been working for. It's about a guarantee that he will get a title fight after this. I guarantee you there has been something said, maybe signed, that after this he's getting it. I like the wrestling threat, and on top, his ground and pound is vicious, and I think he can get him against the cage if he needs to and throw some serious bombs. He throws everything into the punches. He's It's relentless. Hooker takes breaks and can take a lot of damage. So the fact that he's the underdog here is the big thing. If he was the favorite, maybe I wouldn't go that way, but plus 105, I got to take it. So I have 1 unit at the plus 105 for Michael Chandler to beat Hooker. I guess that's a weird way to end the phrase.